Barbara. Yes. Come on. You need to down.
Oh, you know what? I need my phone.
Again. Hey, sweetheart. Thank you, sir. Good to see you.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Angela Rye, and I'm proud to stand alongside Marilyn Mosby with so many Justice for Marilyn Mosby supporters. As you all know, today she's facing a sentencing. The things that she has been convicted of, when you look at the terms, the sentencing time, it could be up to 40 years. We've heard in the courtroom today that it will not likely be anywhere near that. Nevertheless, Marilyn is still up against attacks. The prosecution was asked by this judge today, who were the victims in these alleged crimes? And the prosecution said, that's a good question. And so today we have the same question. Who are the victims? Today, Marilyn's kids are with her in this courtroom. They would be the victims. The folks who've been impacted by watching someone who stood up for us, stood up for justice for us, we're all the victims. And so today we will continue to challenge this justice system to serve our dear sister as she has so righteously served it. You want to speak?
Yes. You want to go first? Okay.
Barbara Arnwine, the legendary Barbara Arnwine.
Yeah. First of all, to the people of the United States, to the people of Maryland, we have come here today because Marilyn Mosby deserves better. We deserve better. This has not been easy for any of us to watch her persecution over these last number of years. And it's no accident that people got on a bus from Baltimore, that people have come here today, overflowing all this courtroom because of the injustice that has been done to her. We want to be clear that if you watch this hearing today, what you've heard from the prosecution all day long has been contradictions. Contradictions. On the one hand, they want to say she's the most important defendant they ever had. Then they turn around and say, but we want to treat her like everybody else. Come on. It's very clear that this has been and will always be nothing but a vindictive prosecution. And it's important for all of us to stand here and say that we will not sit quietly by nor stand by while this is happening. We demand real justice. Yes. Enough is enough. Let her go home, be with her family, embrace her family, and let her move on in life. We will always see her as our shero. Thank you.
All right, sister. I'm Attorney Ben Crump. As an officer of the court, I will be very careful with my words. I am going to present here exactly what I intend to present in the courtroom. Your Honor, I stand before you with deep respect and humility, along with national civil rights leaders, especially black women, urging leniency in the sentencing of Marilyn Mosby. I acknowledge the significance of this hearing and the weight of your responsibility in ensuring equal and fair justice. Therefore, I will not dwell on the broader context of how Marilyn and other progressive prosecutors seem to be targeted for their pursuit of equal justice. But instead, I will focus on her character and contributions. Marilyn Mosby has dedicated her life to champion justice. I first met her in 2015 at a National Bar Association conference when she was the state's attorney in Baltimore. She was a trailblazer, the first amongst a wave of young, idealistic black prosecutors inspired by legal scholars like Michelle Alexander, author of The New Jim Crow. Marilyn's mission was to dismantle racial and social injustices entrenched in our criminal justice system. As the first to lead this movement, Marilyn Mosby not only symbolized the fight for equal justice in law enforcement, but she spearheaded it. History teaches us. History teaches us that pioneers are often targets.
Yes.
Marilyn Mosby was no exception.
My.
Following the tragic death of Freddie Gray, a young black man who sustained fatal injuries while in police custody, Marilyn took a bold and unprecedented step. She did what many before her would not.
Yes.
She investigated and charged the police.
Right on.
Yes.
Right on.
Yes.
Keep charging.
The decision was neither popular nor politically safe. It was a courageous act driven by a commitment to equal justice and integrity, demonstrating her dedication to preserving faith in the criminal justice system, especially for the marginalized citizens of Baltimore. Maryland's investigation prompted the United States Department of Justice to conduct its own inquiry into the Baltimore Police Department. Their findings were stark: a systematic pattern of violating the constitutional rights of citizens, disproportionately African American citizens, with excessive force, stops, searches, and arrests. This validation of Maryland's concerns underscores her role in advocating for systematic change. The prosecution of Marilyn Mosby seems intended to send a chilling message to other progressive prosecutors that their careers, their families, and their freedoms can be stripped away if they strive for equality and justice.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
We who cherish justice
Wait.
cannot allow this to be the prevailing message.
right.
That's right.
We cannot. Your Honor, I understand the necessity of balancing mercy and justice. I do not seek to diminish the seriousness of these proceedings. However, I implore you to consider Marilyn's character and the broader implications of this case. Marilyn is a devoted mother and daughter with no criminal history.
Yes.
To sentence her to prison for being convicted of nonviolent minor offenses with no victims would be a grave injustice.
Yes. Yes.
And it would magnify the trauma of her two beautiful young daughters.
Yes.
The crux of the matter is this: the conviction should only be classified as a minor white-collar crime
Thank you.
in which many others have been convicted of and face a sentence that amounted to a slap on the wrist with probation, and in some instances, Barbara, a mere fine of monetary compensation with no other blemish on her record,
Yes.
their records,
Yes.
Angela.
Yes.
What is different here today is that underneath that white collar is the neck of a black woman who dared to challenge the status quo.
That's right. That's right. All right.
This sentencing here today will add to the legacy of not only Marilyn Mosby, but also to the American legal system from the perspective of many black people in America. Much in the way that it established the legacy of many other courageous black women, like Rosa Parks,
That's right.
like Afeni Shakur,
That's right.
and like Angela Davis.
Yes.
History will remember people like Marilyn Mosby who followed their conscience even in the face of horrendous consequences.
My.
Martin Luther King once said that the coward asked the question, is it safe?
Huh.
He said expediency will ask the question, is it politically correct? He said vanity will ask the question, is it popular? But then he said conscience. Conscience will ask the question, is it right?
Right. Come on.
And Dr. King concluded there comes a time when one must take a position that's neither popular nor politically correct or not even safe. But there comes a time when one must follow their conscience because it is the right thing to do.
That's right.
As state's attorney of Baltimore, Marilyn Mosby always tried to follow her conscience
That's right.
and do the right thing
That's right.
by all of the citizens of Baltimore.
Right on.
That's right.
To the young future freedom fighters,
Speak.
do not be discouraged.
That's right.
Do not be discouraged.
That's right.
Ida B. Wells was not discouraged.
That's right.
That's right.
Rosa Parks was not discouraged.
That's right.
Afeni Shakur was not discouraged.
Yes.
Angela Davis was not discouraged. And at this time, we cannot be discouraged for standing up for what is right.
All right.
We can never be discouraged for standing up for what is right for our community and people who have been at the bottom of the well.
Yes.
Those black and brown faces who we must continue to stand up for no matter how much they attack us personally. You see, this isn't about us. This is about the future of our children having equal opportunity at the American promise of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what Marilyn Mosby was trying to do and following her conscience. She was thinking about those people at the bottom of the well who nobody ever gave a voice to. She was fighting to give them a voice. In closing, Your Honor, we put our faith in your wisdom and fairness to render a decision that balances justice with compassion. I ask you to do what is right, not just for Marilyn Mosby, but for the message it sends about justice and equality in our society. We thank you for your time, and we ask that God bless you and God bless us all in this moment in history. Thank you.
All right. All right. All right. All right.
We will be back after the sentencing. Thank you.
Yes. We're doing that call. Oh, yeah. July. Okay. Okay, well, I won't be on it.